So this is coconut core, and Robert put the wonderful screen, drilled some holes and put the screen on here for me because it can't be too moist, but it can't be too dry. And I don't have the hang of it yet, I'm trying. Next, coming up soon, the grill.
And what's the coconut core for?
Oh, my Nature's Head Toilet. And the jury's still out on all this.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, Debra and Bandit here, and today I'm going to talk to you about the pros and cons of the Nature Head Toilet. And it came with my RV, and I'm very grateful for it. They are very expensive, but there are definitely some cons, and we'll go over that today. I don't want to say negatives because they might not be for you, but I'm going to share what has worked and not worked for me. And this will not be an instructional video on how to use the Nature's Head Composting Toilet. I'll do that in a later video. Today, let's talk pros and cons. When I first got my RV, it had the Nature's Head toilet in it, and it came in a recessed floor. Tiki had built the secondary floor to help her get in and out of the bed, and I actually have to use a footstool, but I put that up every night, and we took out that secondary floor because otherwise, just to empty the urinal, I have to slide it out and get the open it up and get the urinal out. And with just me here in the RV, I have to do that about every 2 days. So I didn't want to have to pick the whole thing up out of the hole that it was in that recessed floor. And so Robert took that floor out for me. And so now I just slide that toilet out and get that urinal out. And I currently have hookups, so I just use the sewer here. And so that's how that works for the urinal. And if you don't want to do that, don't get a Nature's Head composting toilet or any other kind of toilet like that. So because that's the only thing that you can do. And then the other thing before that, I was having to take it and put it in my living room or in my kitchen area to dump it, to get that composting, the urinal out. And now even to dump the composting part of it, I have to take it into the other part of the RV and dump it into a bag or something, and you have to lift the whole thing up. So it's very laborious. At least it has been for me, and if somebody else has other tips, I'm listening. And also, since we took the recessed floor out, it needs to be bolted down for security, but right now where it is, it's not going anywhere. So the other thing that you need to know, or that I'm going to share several things that I think you should know, or that I would have wanted to know about a composting toilet, is of course it has to have a fan and it has to be aerated. And at the same time, you don't want it aerating out into your home. So the fan on this one didn't work, and it wasn't hooked up, and so it wasn't working, and that whole thing had to be sterilized and start all over again with the coconut core or whatever medium that you choose to use. I like that because it's more organic and it works quickly, and I'll cover that when I do the how-to video. Right now, I'm going to let Robert tell you about how the fan needed to be fixed and what he did for the wiring, because it was just coming off and breaking right and left.
Yeah, so as Debra said, the fan was not hooked up, and it comes with a quick release to plug in a 12-volt power to the fan, and that quick release was literally disintegrated. So what I did was basically remove the quick release and used a spliced wiring in directly to the fan wires using a different quick connect release that would allow Debra to unplug it when she needs to move it out of the bathroom area to empty it or whatever, to clean or whatever like that. Pretty much I just did a standard splice that connected the wiring using butt connectors, and then went ahead and put heat shrink over them to seal everything up. Once we were done, we connected it all, put it all back together, and everything worked. Connection for the fan.
Okay, so now my toilet is vented. It has the hose that goes out and goes to the outside, and this is the the two cranks that you use for operating it, and I'll tell you about that in the next video on the how-to part. But because it has to be aerated and that fan brings in air from the outside, that means that I have to leave my shower curtain open a little bit there in the back, so that because of where the toilet is and the space that there is, so that be sure it has enough air flowing through there. Otherwise it doesn't work. And so I always forget, and so I'll go back there and I'll see that curtain completely shut, and I'm like, dang, and I'll open it up a couple of inches. So space requirements are very important, and pay attention to that when you're installing one of these or thinking about getting one of these. And by the way, if you are, please use my Amazon affiliate link, and the product description that we're discussing today will be in the video description. I'd appreciate that. So the coconut core is expensive, and it has, you saw in the beginning, in the first part of the video, I was prepping it. It has to be prepped, and you have to have a place to store that, and you have to have a place to store your backup because you don't want to run out. And for me, it lasts about a month, and I buy the coconut core bricks, and again, that'll be in the video description, and I use 2.5 at a time. So I go through about 2.5 bricks a month, and that can get expensive, so you need to be sure and be prepared for that. The other thing is it doesn't flush, of course, like a regular toilet. On a regular toilet, it has the water that goes round and round and helps you each time. On this one, what they tell you is spray vinegar or something in it after each use, but it has a lot of crevices and holes. It's not even smooth like a porcelain bowl or a regular RV toilet bowl. And I have found that that is just not good enough cleaning for me. And so you don't have the water to help you out after each flush, which means that you're constantly cleaning this thing. And so if toilet cleaning's not your thing, you may not want, at least my experience so far, is a Nature's Head composting toilet. And again, the jury is still out because it is nice, and it does allow me to not have to mess with a black tank and all the sewer lines and everything, and it will allow me to boondock legally and take care of the environment, and so I'm very grateful for that. And we'll see. I'm not weighing in whether I like it or not. I'm just telling you the pros and cons today, and soon, I've only had it 2 months. After I've had it about 6 months or so and been using it more and know better how it works and maybe an easier way to do things, I'll do another video and an instructional video and then tell you whether or not it's thumbs up or thumbs down for me. So that's it for me and Bandit today. I hope you got something out of this. Do you have a Nature's Head composting toilet? Let me know. And do you think that you want one or not? Let me know. You ready to say bye? We'll see you down the road, everybody.